I will go before you and make the rough places smooth. I will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places. Isaiah chapter 45, verses 2 through 3. It's been more than 8 years since our departure. Led by God, I did, after about 1.5 years, reach out to the senior pastor, and we made amends via email. Not only was he my leader, but he was also my friend. We walked through some hard times as a church, and I loved his family like my own. Although God uproots us so he can replant us in a new pot, it doesn't mean that some of our root system isn't left behind in that old pot. And although not physically there anymore, I still prayed for this church and its congregants. Our prayer assignments don't end until God said so. Because I live near, I was at times led to drive by and bless this church. My husband and I had great confidence that our decision to leave was God-led. We know it was right for our lives. However, unraveling out of service there took some time. We had to address those moments of hurt that cut us deeply. And we had to reconcile the fact that we were complicit in some of the activity there that didn't appropriately represent God. We had to allow God to go deep within us to show us areas where we were imperfect in our execution and ministering and needed to grow in. And we had to, at some point, accept that everything we experienced, both good and bad, was part of our faith journey. One of my prayers when seeking help from God about what I was feeling, still being a part of this body of believers, was in connection with the fact that I felt I wasn't growing anymore. I wanted new opportunities to grow in the knowledge of the kingdom. That prayer was answered in ways I could have never imagined, as God literally took us into all the world to preach the gospel. I never expected that I would be working in the world again. I thought working inside the church was it for me. However, my growth process, the things I needed to learn now, could not be taught in those 4 walls. I truly had to learn to walk the talk. We both did. And we desired that pure authenticity very much. We tried to plug into another church right away. We didn't want to be those Christians who don't go to church. And we honestly didn't know how to live outside of it. We visited many churches in the Los Angeles area, but nothing felt like home. Some were huge and affluent, with well-known names, and others were humble and met in school auditoriums. We finally realized that on this leg of the journey, we needed to be home. God had some new things for us to learn. God had some things he needed to cleanse us from. God had a plan that was bigger than we could understand at that point. And there were moments when we really didn't understand what was going on. Not just moments, actually years. However, we did survive, and with our faith in God intact. Just before the COVID-19 pandemic, the Lord led us to a wonderful church that we both knew after the first service was a good fit. It didn't happen overnight, but there was a definite point to it all, and a specific process had in store for us. Our biggest tool to forge our way through was that although we didn't have a physical church home, we knew we had to stay connected to our Heavenly Father, and that we did. We found our perfect home in Him.